What's up, guys? I've been freaking climbing my butt off outdoors, primarily at Shaking Rock Park. Um, I've not seen any other climbers while I'm there, but I have seen traces of climbing. Like, I'll go to a boulder that I've either climbed on or looked at before, and I'll see like new chalk marks and stuff like this, or new, rubber marks from shoes or whatever. So I'm definitely not the only one out there. I just haven't run into anyone else. But I've been kind of crushing it, man. I've been climbing all kinds of shit, man. I've climbed up to the 6th grade over there so far. And honestly, that one just kind of suited my style, like coming from a climbing gym that was very kind of dynamic, gymnastics kind of oriented. I was very used to, barely using my feet, just kind of like muscling through, jumping to holds and stuff. So that's all that V6 was, really, was kind of like one kind of hard jump move to a kind of bad hold. And then from there, it was just kind of like heel hook, max hands on the same hold, slap a sloper, and then kind of a hard top out. Pretty short problems. Most of the problems at this place are pretty short. There's only been, I don't know, a handful that have been more than 5 moves, 5 hand moves. It's mostly what climbers call small ball. Small ball? Low ball. Small ball, it's something else. Small ball is something else entirely. No, it's mostly low ball boulders, right? So stuff that's like, barely taller than your average person. A lot of sit starts, lay down starts even. There's one I'm gonna try probably Sunday when I go back. It's literally laying on your back with your feet up in like a bat hang position, and then you kind of like start from there and do like 2 hand moves and top out, which is also a very climbing gym competition problem kind of style, which is neat. So hoping to flash that one. That's a V4. But yeah, man, like, it's always interesting to see the grading outdoors in places, because like it's all over the place usually, and it's always based on opinion, right? Whoever climbed it just says what they think, and then maybe there's a consensus, later on, and people might say, oh, I think it's this, I think it's that, and it'll either be upgraded or downgraded, one way or the other. Right now I'm using a guidebook. I forget the guy's name who wrote it, but he also has an Instagram page called Shaking Rock Bouldering, which I've been kind of, I just started following. And there's some pretty good videos on there of climbs that I really had no clue what was going on, because, it's one thing to see what's happening. Reading how to do a climb is totally different. It can be kind of confusing. So very good resource. I'm trying to kind of mimic what this guy is doing, or at least like mimic the holds he's using. I've used YouTube as well as Instagram as a resource to kind of help figure out how to do certain problems that I had no clue how to do. But even with seeing someone do it a certain way, I have yet to do a climb in the exact same way as somebody else. Like, I kind of always have to tweak it to play my own strengths, and kind of utilize my own leverages and strengths and stuff, flexibility, yada yada yada. I've not been able to use like the exact same method these people have used yet. And that's always fun too, kind of figuring out how to do things your own way outside. You know, I feel like indoors there's always kind of like a set way of doing things, but outdoors it's totally different. You can kind of do whatever you want as long as you're kind of within the parameters of the route. You know, and there's always, typically anyway, a multitude of features and little holds you can use for your feet that might be, you know, easier to use just because of, again, like your unique body type and strengths and stuff like that. You know, I feel like my fingers are pretty strong and my back is pretty strong and my footwork is not quite there yet. Like my big toe strength is not quite there yet in terms of being able to like stand up on these tiny fucking footholds, but I'm starting to improve in that aspect. And there's like a V4 slab problem that I've not been able to do yet, but I think my feet are finally getting stronger and more skilled. I'm kind of figuring out how to like, you know, stand on these fucking like 2mm holds. So I'm hoping to get that done and get that one on film. That'll be a really cool one. One thing I've noticed is that, sometimes I get a little too in my head about completing like a particular climb, you know, or projecting like a particular climb. And it seems counterproductive. I've had like 2 days where I've actually spent the majority of my time there on one thing. And what typically happens is I might get every move figured out, but I can't. But by the time I, am warmed up and have every move kind of dialed in, my skin is already wrecked because the holds are so tiny and sharp. So I feel like there's no point in me projecting at this place anymore for that reason. And I'm just gonna like maybe just do kind of something I've done with my clients in the past, which is like a no more than 3 tries on something and then kind of like move on. So I'll probably do that in the future, take my own advice I've been giving my my climbing clients, and just like say screw it, and move on, because I am just wrecking my skin lately on these like tiny fucking crimp lines out there. And also with that, like, you get a wide variety of styles to climb too. So like, if you're focused on one particular thing, you're not even completing that climb. It's like you're kind of only getting good at that one climb and nothing else. So if I do kind of a more, 3 tries and move on method, then I'm going to be able to get on a lot of different climbs and kind of expand my movement and skill set, you know what I mean? Feel all kinds of different varieties of climbs and stuff, and probably get better in general at climbing and not like specifically at one particular thing, which is kind of my goal. The one day I climbed like, I don't know, like a dozen problems that were within like a V1 to V4 range. That was like probably my favorite day outside, even though I wasn't climbing anything close to my limit. I had a freaking blast and like a great workout, because I was doing all kinds of stuff, But anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to talk about, man. I mean, I've been just absolutely throwing myself at a real rock lately, and I'm loving it, I'm pretty much, it's hard to say full-time because I'm not really working full-time hours. I'm not working like 40 hours a week or anything, but I'm pretty much a full-time trainer at this point. It's given me a lot of free time to go outside and kind of like fuck around and do what I want to do, which is awesome. And I'm super grateful for that. That has been huge for my physical and like mental health. So that's been awesome. I climbed 4 times outside last week. I'm about to do my 3rd day this week, either tomorrow or Sunday. And yeah, man, it's been pretty killer. And again, like, I've not really done any other workouts otherwise, other than like a little bit of stone lifting here and there, which my forearms are still kind of beat up from that. And that was like almost 9 days ago at this point. I still haven't like fully healed on my forearm skin from all that. But I think I'm gonna keep just doing that, man. Stone lifting, climbing, and that's about it, man. Got a little booger in my nose. But yeah, dude, that's it. I did kind of a leg day the other day because it was like raining a little bit. And I think it was a mistake, honestly, because I'm still sore from that, and it like kind of negatively impacted my climbing when I got back to the rocks like 2 days later. So I'm just gonna take it easy with all the supplemental exercises, because I'm already like, if you're climbing indoors, I feel like you don't get as much stimulus in the lower body. But if you're outdoors, especially trying to stomp down or hold tension on these tiny fucking footholds, my lower body is like trembling. You know, my hips get sore as shit, my ankles, my feet, my hamstrings, my quads, my whole freaking body is getting beat the fuck up. So I don't think I really need anything else to do, you know, especially if I'm out there 3-4 times a week. I'm just freaking getting beat up, man. The only thing I've been doing at home is really just like prehab work, you know, like low intensity hangboarding, a lot of pumpy forearm stuff, a little bit of yoga type stuff here and there, just to kind of ensure that my next climbing trip will be successful, you know. Really just body maintenance, if anything. That's about it. Anyway, that's enough rambling for now. Dog is laid out. Let me show you guys this real quick. He has been loving sunbathing out here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? Getting a big stretch. Yeah. It's nice out here, huh? Oh, the eyes won't even open. Alright, anyway, y'all take care. You know, keep crushing out there, keep doing your thing. Fuck the authority. Peace.